Oh, that hurt my heart a little. And I've got a question that's actually not for me, it's for you. This might be a little cheeky hack, but I'm going to share it anyway because I know a lot of people do it. What do you look for in a man? Now, honey, I have a long list. Hello, how's it going? My name's Farah, welcome back to my channel. That was a really weird intro. I don't normally intro like that. Sorry about it. Today we're going to be doing a little chatty video. I'm really in the mood for one of these. Haven't done one in a while. And I just feel like we need to catch up a little bit. You guys asked me a lot of questions on Instagram, basically, so I'm here to answer them. If you like chatty videos, give this one a thumbs up, let me know. Subscribe down below for more, and let's get straight into the video. Okay, so I have the questions, oh god, on my laptop because I'm filming on my phone, so I had to screenshot and send them to myself. So we're gonna get stuck straight into some, oh actually I do remember reading some of these. They were juicy, you guys, juicy questions. So where do we start? Okay, so the first question is, how do I get a grad job? I've got the grades, internships, but I still can't get a job. Oh, that's really difficult, especially at this time now as well. This whole quarantining situation means that I don't know what's happening about interviews. I don't know what's happening about how people are getting jobs these days anyway, when technically you're not meant to be working. It's a really, really odd time. But I think in general, and if the world was normal, and yeah, let's just pretend none of this is happening right now. What I would do is try and go for internships. So try and get yourself onto like summer schemes, winter schemes, whatever area that it is that you're interested in getting a grad job. Start with being an intern and trying to get into the company that way, because as soon as you've got your foot in the door, you'll learn so much more about the company, the industry, the area you want to work in, whether you actually want to do that job in the first place. And then once you're already there and have made connections and know people, it's far easier then to actually convert that into a grad job rather than just going straight in. But yeah, you have said that you have the grades and the internship, so I don't know, there must be an issue with the conversion of your internship, because to me that is how I got my job. I was on a summer vacation scheme while at uni, and then I got the job offer once I finished the vacation scheme, because I had another interview for the actual role after I'd like figured out whether I liked the firm, whether I wanted to continue working there, whether they liked me, whether they wanted me back. So yeah, I feel like internships are the best way. So if you've been doing those and they're not been converting, then it might be that you actually did get the offer but didn't necessarily like the job. Maybe you didn't get the offer, but then I would look into why the offer didn't convert, because if you got the grades and everything else and there's something going wrong in that area, and why they wouldn't want to hire you when they've already gotten to know you and they've wanted to spend all that time and resource on you throughout however long your internship was. It doesn't really make sense to me, other than if it's just too competitive and there's too many people for the role and they could only pick a certain few. In that case, this might be a little cheeky hack, but I'm going to share it anyway because I know a lot of people do it. Yeah, what I would tell my friends to do, let's say, is, for example, if you're in the UK and you're applying to London, London is massive, but also there's only really 1 or 2 offices of each like big firm if you're going for these big corporate companies. And if you're wanting to apply for those, they are so competitive. There's hundreds of people going for the same position. So yeah, you're much better off going for like, or applying to an office outside of London, ones that are a bit more remote, bit more out the way, less people, less competition. And then later on, if you want to move into London, if you want to move to a different office altogether, different location, you can do that once you've got into the company already. But don't kind of cut ties with things just purely because of location. If you have the flexibility to move, I would always suggest doing that, because at the end of the day, if you're wanting a job essentially to survive, then you're going to have to make a few sacrifices. So for me, if I felt that like I wasn't getting anywhere purely because of competition and because there's just far too many people going for the same thing, then I would look at applying in places where there's less competition and breaking that barrier down at least. And if there's still another reason why I'm not getting the job, then you just have to keep chipping away and working out where things are going wrong and fix those issues, because it can always be fixed, whether it's something wrong with you, whether you're not getting on with people, whether you are struggling with the technical side of things, which shouldn't really be an issue because you're meant to learn that on the job. But if it's just, yeah, anything that is really wrong, you can fix and you have the time to, especially when you're like a student and you're starting out and you're young. There's no real reason why you should have an issue developing yourself or changing things to get a job, to be honest. Of course it does depend on the industry. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience and trying to give my advice from that way. But yeah, I would try those things, see how they work out. Hopefully you get a breakthrough. Wishing you all the best with that. I know how stressful it is trying to get a grad job straight out of uni. It's such a like unnerving time, but you just have to keep pushing. Like the amount of applications I did was actually insane, and I pretty much only got one interview, I think, and then that was my job. So yeah, it happens, but it's like a win some, you lose some situation. But you just got to keep going, because if the moment you stop, that's it. Like you're obviously not going to get anywhere if you're not putting your applications in. Nobody's going to come chasing you to hire you, so you just got to keep going and got to keep getting back up every time you get a rejection. That's just how it works, unfortunately. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. Okay, so the next question is it okay to want a boyfriend but at the same time get annoyed when a guy talk with me? Okay, that's a bit odd, a little bit odd. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, kind of a lot of mixed signals there. If you're not wanting someone to talk to you, I guess it's just like the person that you don't want to be with then, I guess, because you would know if you wanted to talk to them and get to know them more, and if they're annoying you and you don't really want to speak to them, then yeah, they're probably not the person for you. But I would always like remove yourself from the idea of just wanting a boyfriend for the sake of having one. Like that is not the purpose of having someone. Like you decide if you want a boyfriend if you find that person that makes you feel like that makes you feel like you want to make them yours, not like I'm gonna go out and find myself. Like that's just how I see it. I think I don't think you should be asking or wanting a boyfriend just for fun, you know, like just because you're bored, just because everyone else has one, just because it feels like it's trendy. I don't know. My brother's being so loud. Oh my god. But yeah, if you find someone and you want to make them your boyfriend because you really, really like them and you don't get annoyed talking to them and you actually want to speak to them, that's a whole other story. But if you're not wanting to talk to boys, don't force yourself to. Don't like feel like you have to, because you really don't. Like whoever told you that is totally wrong. Do your own thing, be you, enjoy your life. When the right person comes, you won't want to not speak to them. Yes, what would you like? I'm recording and you're being so loud. Also, as soon as you're here, I actually want to get you in this video. Because I asked people to ask me questions on Instagram, and I've got a question that's actually not for me, it's for you.
What question is
so my brother's come into this video for a minute to answer the next question.
I'm not in the right clothes, you know.
It's fine, you look fine.
And I've got hay fever.
So if you don't know who this is my brother. He's been in a video of mine already. Can you close the door in case something
I just sat down, man.
Sorry, but
I came to ask where's Mum's phone.
I have no idea. Wait, I need to find the question. So someone decided to ask.
Yeah, you are a lot of questions.
Yeah. Wait, don't look yet, don't look.
I can't even read it.
Oh, they asked me on the other one, but they asked me on this one too. So I have a question for you that I'm not going to tell you who it's from. I'm not going to disclose on here. Someone's asked, is your brother single? He's damn cute, yeah. You guys, I've had ridiculous comments, okay, about him. I don't know why, and I don't know where this came from, but he has his own Instagram, and he doesn't do YouTube or anything. Maybe you should start doing that, you know, vlogging.
I did game on YouTube.
No, we want you on vlogs. We want your face, we don't want the screen. But yeah, he has an Instagram, so I'll leave it on the screen here, and you can go bug him. Stop asking me about him. That would be nice. And also, let me know what videos you want. Actually, people were asking me if you would do my makeup in a video. I think that'd be quite funny. Do you want to try that?
I don't know, we'll have to see.
Yeah, but I think we should try that. But you didn't answer their question. But I don't really want you to anyway.
You didn't even ask me a question.
I did, but I don't want you to answer it anyway. So that was Ibrahim's debut onto the channel. Let's see you later. Enjoy your life.
Bye.
Okay, so, this actually leads me on nicely to the next question. It says, who are you close to, your brother or your sister? Okay, let me just explain something to you. My brother is 2 years younger than me. My sister is 15 years younger than me. So obviously me and my brother have been alive and been siblings way longer than we have with my sister. She's just like not been here for half our lives essentially. So naturally I'm a lot closer to him just by like generation wise. Like I feel like my sister is a whole other generation at this point. But I'm still like super close to her, and it's a bit of a weird one because like I'm more of a motherly figure to her in a lot of situations than I am a sister, just because of that huge age gap. But we definitely still have a lot of fun together, and definitely I'm very close to her. She's the most, like, she's so sweet, and she's also very, very clingy. So yeah, I'm super close to both of them, but obviously just by the fact of like age and the amount of time we've been siblings, I would say I'm closer to my brother. That's a bit of a weird one because it's not because of personalities, it's not because of anything else really, it's just that she's so little. Like obviously I wouldn't talk to her about the stuff that I talk to my brother about. So that's that answer. Okay, so the next question says, how do you forget / move on about someone who still means a lot to you? Oh, that hurt my heart a little. I would say if you're in that situation, then honestly do anything to distract yourself, because everyone always says like time's the best healer, time heals everything, but like if you can feel the time passing, it goes slow and it's like more painful to think about how long it's going to take you to feel better. So the best advice I could give you is don't let yourself be alone. Don't let yourself even like really think about the situation. If you know you have to move on from it, if you know that you've just got to break away and kind of end that chapter of your life, then the best thing I think, personally what I would do, is just do any possible thing to distract myself from it. And obviously like give yourself time to heal and like feel the pain, but don't spend like weeks and months and years doing that to yourself, because I don't think it will get better that way. I think you'll just keep having like relapses and like really hurting yourself more by just like reliving that pain. But yeah, I would honestly just find things that you really enjoy, hobbies that you're passionate about. Go and find new friends, like actual, I don't know actually whether this is a friendship or a relationship situation, because you just said still means a lot to you, and I've had friendships that have meant a lot to me that have ended, and that hurt a lot actually. Yeah, that hurt a freaking ton. But honestly, I think how I dealt with that was the distractions thing. Genuinely, I just distracted myself. I hung out with new people, I got hobbies, I just immersed myself in my studies at the time. I just really took advantage of any opportunity that came for me to forget about that time, because it's not coming back, unfortunately, and no matter what you do, you can't recreate it. And I honestly tried to like resuscitate almost these past relationships, hoping that we could be friends again and we could be like the best of friends, in the same that we were in school, and like my best friend would know me as well as they did before. But actually she's moved on and she's like got her own life now, and she doesn't know me as much as she used to because we've been so long apart. And she's changed, I've changed, we're both grown, so you can't really take yourself back to a time that you've been in previously and kind of just start like living in that space, because it's gone and you've all grown up, and you will continue to grow. No matter how old you are, you're going to continue to grow and develop yourself. So never think about how things were and how things could have been. If you've done something differently, don't beat yourself up about any situation that's past and you can no longer change. You just honestly really need to start looking to the future and thinking, wow, okay, maybe I messed up, maybe they messed up, but I'll learn from that. I'll learn for what not to accept from someone and how to like spot red flags sooner, or I'll learn for myself not to treat people that way. Whatever the case was that led to this whole thing ending, you can learn from that and then use it and apply it in your next relationships. Focus on that. Focus on using what you've learned for the next people that you meet, because you always want to make sure that you've actually taken something good from a bad situation. Never let a bad situation just purely be bad. Make sure you've learned something, taken something away from it, and made it good and made it positive for your next encounter and your next friendship, relationship, whatever that is. Like, make something good out of it, because otherwise, like, what was the point of it? Like, it kind of just is a bit of a waste otherwise, and yeah, that will make you feel even worse. So I really feel for you, but hopefully this distractions and stuff will help you forget, and moving on, like, over time you'll realise that actually a year from now you won't be thinking about them anymore, because you'll have so much else going on with your life. That's why you just need to pack your schedules and like make your days as busy as possible, so then you don't really have time to miss them. You don't really have time to think about like how to move on or how to forget, because you're doing that anyway by default, if that makes sense. Okay, so the next question is, when do you ideally want to get married? I don't know why I said it like that. Well, the funny story is, so my mum got married when she was 24. So I always said, I'm going to get married when I'm 24, like all daughters would do. You just want to be like your mum. You want to do everything like your mum. So I was like, 24. I'm 24 this year. And I'm in no way close. I'm in no way ready to get married just yet. But I guess for right now, I definitely think within the next 2 years, I really want to be in the next 2 years, because I just think like I don't want to be an old mum. Not that there's anything wrong with that, like at all. Like, my mum had my sister 15 years after me, like it's fine. But me personally, I don't want to be really heavily into my 30s having my first child. That's just me. But honestly, God's will, like, it's not really my choice, is it? Whenever I get married, when I have babies, if I have babies, if I get married, I don't feel like and any of this is down to us. It's in God's plan. So I'm going to leave it up to that and leave it at that, let's just say. So the next question is, are you Muslim family strict? So I don't know how to answer that, because definitely when I was younger, hell to the yeah, like when I was growing up, my parents, especially my dad, insanely strict, had to vet everything pretty much. Yeah, I was checked up on non-stop, and there was not a lot of freedom at all growing up. Like, I definitely had stricter parents than all my friends, but then all my friends weren't Asian or Muslim, so that would make sense anyway. But yeah, super strict. Nowadays they're really chill. Like, obviously there's certain boundaries in there, there's still like boundaries there, but that's normal. I think they wouldn't be parents if they didn't lay those boundaries or set those standards, you know. In terms of strictness, like, I do what I want, I go where I want, and now I'm working, I'd be a bit concerned if they didn't like let me go out and do what I wanted or needed to do. And they know what I'm up to pretty much all the time anyway. Like, it's not really that they need to worry about me. I mean, I went to uni for 4 years, lived by myself, so coming back home was kind of like, if you're concerned about me now, then that's like worrying, because I just survived 4 years totally on my own and nothing bad happened, thank goodness. But yeah, I survived, so why wouldn't I like be fine now if I'm going out, you don't know where I am or whatever. So yeah, they're not, I wouldn't say they're strict now. Definitely on like clothing and stuff, I think that's still a big issue, and that's a whole other thing, I think. But in terms of like what I want to do with my time, where I'm going, if I wanted, just in general, they don't really care that much anymore. But that is because I'm in my 20s now, so I feel like that's how it should be. However, I do know that some parents are still super strict with their children, even if they are older and they're living with them. So I guess everyone's different, but yeah, mine are chill, I think, kind of. Okay, so I think the last question I'm going to answer in this video, hopefully it hasn't been too long, I don't think it has, but I do have loads more. I don't want to like make this last forever. So the last question is, what do you look for in a man? Now, honey, I have a long list. I don't know what that was. Yeah, I have a long list, to be honest, because, right, let me tell you, you need to make sure that whoever you're choosing, you want to stick with them forever. Like, this is a lifetime thing in my eyes. Now, if you're going to be with someone for the rest of your life, you don't know how old you're going to be before you disappear, vanish off the earth. You could be 30, you could be 40, you could be 50, you could be 60, you could be 100. If you're going to be with a man for 100 years, yeah, no, till you're 100, yeah, that's a freaking long time. So I'm gonna make sure that I really want to be with them. So first thing I think is that's really important to me is, well, there's a lot of things that are equally important. There's loyalty. They've got to only care about you. And I mean, like, just in terms of, obviously they have their families and they have their friends, that's cool, but like in terms of girl, oh my god, if you don't have loyalty, then what do you have in a relationship? Same with trust. If you can't trust the person to not be texting someone else or calling someone else or just being with someone else when you're not there, then like, ew, what the hell? That is, oh yeah, you need trust. You need to not be able to, like, you need to not be, how do I say this? You need to not be in the position where you're like worried or concerned about who or what they're doing when you're not there. And if you have any concern, then oh my god, bin him. Like, that is not worth your time. That's sad if you actually have those worries. So yeah, that's 2. 3 is generosity. I think it's really important to be with someone that's generous, that's like loving, that wants to like give their time to you, wants to be, yeah, wants to show their appreciation for you. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's important, because if someone like loves you and cares about you, then they're going to want to do that. And it doesn't matter what way they do that. Like, everyone has their different love languages. So I think in whatever way they show you that, it could be a way that maybe doesn't resonate with you because you want specific things because of your different love language, but as long as they kind of communicate in some form to you and you can understand that, and I think over time it gets easier to understand each other's. It can be quite hard and like you can butt heads a lot if you like don't understand how each other shows their love and appreciation for each other. Because if you are like all about acts of service and they're all about words of affirmation, then every time that they say something to you, you're kind of not going to be bothered because they're not doing stuff for you and doing that act of service. So what is that hair doing? So yeah, it just takes a bit of work, that one, but still like generosity, and generous with time, generous with like just taking care of your feelings, you know? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I think you get what I mean. Also like generous with your family, like kindness in general, I think is something that people like overlook a lot. It's kind of, it is a given for sure. Like, if you're not with someone kind, then what the hell? Like, that's a bit awkward. But people kind of overlook that a bit, because like if someone's a bit of a douche but they're like really good looking and they just do stuff for you and you know they tick all the other boxes but they're actually not a nice person, sometimes I feel like people overlook that, which doesn't make sense in my head. But yeah, genuinely a kind heart. I think they really need a kind heart, and they need to be like, just care about me but also care about the people I care about, like, and want to make an effort with them. They want to make an effort with my family, with my friends, and yeah, in general, because if someone cares about you, then they're going to want to care about the people that you love. So yeah, that's another one. These are all like really standard things, by the way. This is not things that like if you find a guy that does it, you're like, oh, he's the only one. Like, he shouldn't really be the only one. That's a bit worrying. There's also other stuff like he has to be funny. I'm sorry, but he has to be funny. If he's not funny, then yeah, we have a problem, because it's not hard to make me laugh. Like, I laugh at pretty much anything, so if you can't make me laugh, then there's something wrong with you. Like, genuinely, I laugh at everything, so yeah, that would be a problem. It's got to be funny. I don't really have any other, not as in, like, I'm not the kind of girl that's going to be like, I need him to look like this, I need him to dress like this, I need him to have this, I need him to you know, play this certain sport, I need him to have this much money in the bank. Like, I don't really care for all of that. I just want a good heart, I just want loyalty, I want to trust you. And I think these are things that most girls really want in a relationship. But let me tell you, too many girls find a guy and he doesn't have those qualities, and unfortunately they kind of just settle, I guess, or just kind of put up with it because he has other qualities, that maybe he's good looking, maybe he has the money. That isn't gonna last long, in my opinion. I mean, that's not what I'm looking for in someone, so I want someone I can grow with. I want someone that understands me. I want someone that takes the time to understand me and wants to grow with me, and we can build an empire together. I don't need you to already have it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I hope I answered some juicy questions. There was a lot of interesting stuff in there, and I could really talk about this kind of topic all day long, but I don't want to bore you. I've given you a little snippet, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope the advice was helpful as well. If you guys have any other like specific advice that you want from me, then definitely DM me on Instagram. I'll leave my handle here. I'm getting out of breath. And yeah, comment on my pictures, whatever. Just comment down below even. If you're wanting to ask me anything, I will always reply, or always like put it in a video, try to. So yeah, definitely get in touch. But that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, smash the thumbs up button down below. Subscribe to our channel down below as well for more videos like this. And I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.